The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, folks. This is Danny Almon of AlmonTravel. We're CARP's, Nova Scotia's nominated travel agency as of November 2019. We've been in business since 2003 ourselves, so a total of 17 years. And in fact, we were working with Bill Van Gorder and CARP to plan a series of live presentations starting in January, when of course COVID hit, and everything has been put on hold since then. Our specialties are destination weddings and anniversaries, for example, extended family anniversaries, Florida, the Caribbean, and cruises, in particular river cruises. As I said, everything is on hold now because of travel conditions regarding COVID. We're just hoping and waiting and praying for a vaccine to come along, which I think will go a long way to helping people feel comfortable about traveling again. This is the fourth presentation that we've done of about 18 planned, which occur at 6:30 every Tuesday. So please go to the CARP website, CARP Nova Scotia website, and check on the travel page for a listing of all the presentations that are happening. I also would like to suggest that that if you have if you don't see a travel topic that is of interest to you, or if it's something that is of specific interest to you, then certainly feel free to email me or call me and let me know, and I'll check to see if we can get a presentation done on that. So enough on me. I'll turn this over to Bill Van Gorder, who is COO and Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as being the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia, and senior spokesperson for CARP in the Maritimes. Bill?
Thank you, Danny, and thank you, Danny and Justin, for putting this presentation together this evening. CARP is really pleased to be involved with you in this program. We're looking forward, as you say, to being able to offer some CARP group travel as soon as the pandemic allows. But in the meantime, it is a great opportunity to enjoy hearing about some of the possible destinations, and also to hear from our presenters like Justin, how the travel industry is working to change to meet the challenges that we're obviously going to go through following the pandemic when we're ready to travel again. So thank you for doing this. We invite you to tell your friends about future gatherings. As Danny said, you can find them on our website, carp.ca, or go to our CARP Nova Scotia Facebook page, and you'll find the information about upcoming presentations then. So thank you, Danny, and back over to you and Justin.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Interesting. I forgot to mention that that the person who is organizing this this presentation is Justine Soller, but Ken Nickerson is the actual presenter. I should have clarified that at the beginning. Ken has been 12 years with Trafalgar Cost Saver and 25 years in the travel industry. So he's the senior sales manager in Atlantic Canada territory based in Nova Scotia. I've known Ken since I've been in the travel business, and he has been absolutely wonderful to work with. And so we are so lucky to have him here in Nova Scotia to help us with any concerns or information we need about Trafalgar. So Ken, I'll turn it over to you.
Wonderful, and thank you, Danny, and thank you, Bill, for inviting me to be here this evening to talk a little bit about the world of Trafalgar. As Danny mentioned, I did join the Trafalgar team, Cost Saver team, in 2009, and it has been a wonderful journey, and some of the places I've been able to travel and visit have been pretty incredible. But for the sake of this evening's presentation, I'll talk a little bit more about what it is we do at Trafalgar, welcome you to our guided vacations. We believe we do deliver the travel's best guided vacation in the industry. And it has been a labor of love for our team for a number of years. But why travel with us? Tonight, I hope to highlight for you what it is we're doing differently as opposed to what we may have done 10 years ago or 11 years ago when I joined the organization. We've been going through a transformation, as we like to call it, from coach touring to guided vacation, really becoming more focused on the guest, less focused on what we did traditionally, and really looking toward trends, interests, and making sure that what we deliver when you travel with us is exactly what you're looking for. And it is about experiencing wonderful moments. And I think if we all stop and take a moment and think about some of the trips we've taken over the years, maybe it's a road trip locally or a big once-in-a-lifetime trip, there are always those little moments that just stand out in our minds. We may not remember the actual day it happened, but we'll always remember that moment. And that's what we want to do at Trafalgar and Cost Saver, is create those moments for you as you travel the world with us. Just a little bit about the company itself. We have been in business for 74 years. We are part of the Travel Corporation, which is our parent company. We are owned and operated by the Tolman family, who originate in South Africa and today are kind of spread all over the world running this family business. Over the last number of years, I've built quite a portfolio of 40 different brands around the world, and Trafalgar is the flagship. We are the biggest of all their brands, and in 2019, we started traveling to all 7 continents. We've won over 90 industry awards worldwide. We have hundreds of trips to offer, thousands of experiences, and over our 74 years of traveling, we've had over 5 million happy guests travel with us as we've traveled the roads. We've created various what we call trip styles or travel styles, because not everyone wants the same style of trip or the same structure. So as you look on the screen, you'll see 9 different travel styles. I won't go into them into detail this evening as it takes a while, but on our website or in the brochures, we do explain what each trip style represents or what type of travel it actually is. But it ranges everywhere from an leisure program to our family experiences, and we're even moving more into active trips as well on some of our new itineraries moving forward in 2021. One of the most important things for myself as an employee at the Travel Corporation and Trafalgar is the Tread Right Foundation. Our CEO, Brett Tolman, he started the Tread Right Foundation 11 years ago. It's a not-for-profit organization that the Tolman family support in a way that we can give back and we make travel matter. The Tolman family are very involved with various boards around the world, and sustainability has become a big part of what we do or we're trying to do. The goal is by 2024 to be carbon neutral as we travel the world. It's about caring for the planet, preserving the places and the wildlife, and helping people along the way. And as we go through a couple of our trips today, you'll see how we do that. But there are over 13 initiatives, global large initiatives that we are involved in through Tread Right, and under the Joint Trafalgar banner, we also participate in giving back to the regions that we visit. So it's something that's very important to the Tolman family, to all of the employees at the Travel Corporation, and to all of our guests that travel with us, because you support these initiatives when you travel with us. Just to highlight a couple of ones that we do in our North America program, when it comes to making a difference in Alaska and Yukon. In the Yukon, we visit the Yukon Wildlife Preserve. We also visit the Muskox Development Corporation. And by visiting and paying to be there, it allows us to support these initiatives, but also through Tread Right and Join Trafalgar to make donations as well to help support them. And in Alaska, the Alaska Wildlife Center. Preserving the wildlife is something that's very important to us, and we try to do this wherever we travel in the world. Any interactiveness we have with animals has been approved by the World Wildlife Federation. We make sure everything we do is correct and that no animal is being taken advantage of. It's something we firmly and strongly believe in. When it comes to the best way to go, and tonight I will highlight, and Danny mentioned at the beginning about COVID, how you can book with confidence, travel, well-being, and handcrafted vacations, and I'll explain that a little bit more as we go through. One of the things that we've done since this whole pandemic started is we realize people are nervous about investing their monies and tying it up in future travel credits or what, and maybe not even having that money there when they get to travel. But to give you some reassurance, we're, as I mentioned, a proud member of the Travel Corporation, and the Travel Corporation has been in existence now for a century. There is a letter on our website from our CEO, Brett Tolman, and he presents the integrity of our company when it comes to our finances. We are completely solvent. We do not owe any debt. Everything that is part of the Travel Corporation is owned. We have no outstanding debts whatsoever. We have a hotel chain called the Red Carnation, and then the letter that Brett has posted on our websites, be it the Travel Corporation website or the Trafalgar website, it states that their value of the properties alone just in that one company is over 300 million. So when you're booking a trip with us, your money is safe. One of the great things about a company based in Ontario, or the Canadian office being in Ontario, we are protected by the Tourism Industry Council of Ontario, and your money sits in a trust so that we can't take your money and not give it back to you, or when your credit's due, the money is there. We have also introduced a flexible deposit. It's now $99 deposit to hold your seat on your trip. This was available until September 15th. We've now extended it well into December. And if you book your trip, pay your $99 deposit. Within 30 days, if you decide, I'm just not ready, we'll refund that $99. After the 30 days is up, you are free to change your mind, change your trip right up to 30 days prior. So you have flexibility on the land portion of your vacation to move to a new destination or to change it to a different trip as well. Your deposit after the 30 days always sits as a credit as well. So your $99 is always yours and there for you to use when you're ready to travel. Your well-being is our priority, and through these times, the Travel Corporation in Trafalgar has worked with the World Health Organization, the WHO. We've also worked with the World Travel and Tourism Council to ensure what we deliver on the road is keeping our guests safe, and we're adhering to all of the distancing and hygiene travel protocols. We have a full support team. Something new and unique to the industry is a well-being director. So on our coaches, not only will you have our expertly trained travel directors and our drivers, you will be accompanied by a well-being director who will be in constant contact with all the facilities that we visit, be it hotels, restaurants, sightseeing, small businesses, to adhere that they are sticking to the priorities and the protocols that we've put in place. While you're on trip with us, we will have masks available. We will have hand sanitizers. The coaches themselves will be cleaned consistently, as they always are, but we'll take further steps. We have new air filters put on board. We'll have less people. In fact, our coaches, for the time being, will carry 26 guests, so we can allow for proper distancing on the coaches themselves. We do encourage our guests to bring their own masks with them. We will have extras on hand. It's the same as a water bottle. Because we have eliminated single-use plastic on the majority of our trips, we do encourage you to bring your own water bottle as well that you can clean and reuse. And our travel director and our well-being director also have around-the-clock 24-hour support from our operations team globally. So you're in good hands. We're taking all the right steps to make sure that when you travel with us, you will travel safe and that your well-being is being looked after. And when it comes to our handcrafted trips, this is where I've seen such a transformation in what we delivered when I first joined the company to today. And it's all about the ease, it's about real connections and real joy. And this came from taking the feedback from all of those people who have traveled with Trafalgar in the past or have never traveled with us and said, this is what I'm looking for when I'm on a trip. When it comes to the ease of travel, there's nothing better than sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying. And just in having an opportunity to spend time with family and friends. This is my mom and dad. 5 years ago, we were on one of our Western Canada itineraries, and we're here at the Bow Falls on the Bow River in Banff. And it was a wonderful journey. I've done this before where I had to do all the work, and I was the travel director, the driver, the porterage with luggage. And yes, others enjoyed the trip, I didn't. But on this journey, we got to sit back, relax, and enjoy, and everything else was looked after. It was absolutely magic. We visit all of the iconic sites, be it the Athabasca ice fields on one of the vehicles. Driving around in a modern coach. Our fleet is 2 years old max. We lease top of the line coaches. And as I mentioned with the cleanliness, they're always exceptional. They go beyond that now. The seats recline, washroom on board, air conditioned, Wi-Fi on our coaches. It's like cell phone service. It doesn't always work great, but the features are there for our guests to sit back, relax, and enjoy that stress-free journey. And the beauty of it is you don't have to worry about driving. Somebody else will do the navigation, somebody else will do the driving. So if we're doing a wine tour or we're visiting a distillery, everybody can sample because nobody needs to get behind the wheel and worry, because our professional drivers will take good care of you. We've selected the best accommodations. We like to say our hotels are handpicked and ideally located, because it's not always important to be in a city center. When you're looking at a beautiful hotel in one of the national parks in North America, or maybe staying on the historic islands in Venice, we make sure that we select the right hotels for each and every itinerary. The other beauty of our hotel program, is that every property is visited by a staff member to ensure its quality. So we've worked really hard to secure 4 to 5-star and what we call stays with stories, and I'll explain that in a bit. And memorable meals, from that first welcome reception on either day 1 or day 2 of your journey, where you'll meet all your travel mates, the travel director, to our programs where we have regional meals, the farewell dinner. We make sure that the dining experiences are unique and fun, and we've really worked hard at getting out of the hotel. Sometimes we do dine at hotels if it's a long day, but we really want you to go out and dine in the local restaurants as the local people do. So when you come away from the trip, you feel like you have actually lived it like a local. You'll be well looked after by our travel directors and the Wellbeing director team. Their knowledge is impeccable. They are there to look after all your needs every step of the way and ensure not only are you knowledgeable of the destination and the places you're visiting and seeing, but ensuring that it runs smoothly, making sure that the hotels are ready for us when we arrive, that our entry, VIP entry into parks and historic sites, that we're not standing in lines, that we get in first. And they're there throughout the journey to treat you, surprise you, and just make sure that you have a wonderful journey and an incredible time. When it comes to real connections, this is where I've seen a huge growth and change in the program itself. It's where we get you up close and personal with the local people, small businesses, with the destination itself. So it's not just about seeing it out of the window of a coach, but it is meeting the locals, the families, and having an opportunity with local specialists and to really see deep into the destination. We love to dive into culture, take you on experiences maybe you wouldn't think of doing. And this is in Canmore, Alberta, where our guests on our trips get to suit up, step out on that ice, and learn from a professional hockey player what it's like to skate and play hockey. So I know for a lot of Canadians, this is our pastime, this is our way of life, but not everybody's had that moment. So it's great to see their faces when they step on the ice for the first time and realize that there's an NHLer teaching them how to play hockey. So it's a wonderful example of diving into culture. Bringing in local specialists to tell the story. Who could tell it any better about being an RCMP officer than a retired Mountie? And when we're in Banff, our guests have an opportunity to meet one of Canada's finest from the RCMP, learn about the life of being a Mountie in Canada and being part of that elite group. It's a wonderful opportunity for our guests to see behind the scenes and learn a little bit more about the world famous Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And we connect with locals. We have a program called Be My Guest, and when we connect with the locals, we're taking you into family-owned businesses, family-run home. Sometimes it's just a family home. Depending on the story where we are, we make sure it tells the story of the destination. So in Alberta, We have a family, the Eckhart family, who run this. What they do is they purchase barns, restore them, and then they hold barn socials. So as a guest with Trafalgar on some of our Western Canada itineraries, you will visit a family, the Eckhart family, have an opportunity to learn all about the barn social and be part of one. Have a wonderful meal with music, meet the local people, and really get immersed into the culture. And as I mentioned, wherever we travel, connecting with locals, it will take on the flavor of the local community as well. And stays with stories. I mentioned some incredible hotels that we stay in, 4- and 5-star rated, but it's going beyond that and finding properties that tell a story. And this is the Tundra Buggy Lodge. So on 2 of our brand new itineraries that I'll talk about shortly, you will have an opportunity to spend a couple of nights in the Tundra Buggy Lodge, taking in the Northern Lights or maybe seeing a polar bear. So it's just very unique properties that we look for to be a part of the program. It could be Ashford Castle on the west coast of Ireland, which is a stunning red carnation property that I was blessed to visit last year. Absolutely remarkable. And hidden gems. Our travel directors, not everything's in the brochure, and on occasion we take you on a journey where the travel director will take you to a site maybe you haven't been before, or it'll be a treat that you get to enjoy. For example, in Canmore, when we were on our journey, we visited the Nordic Center where the 1988 Calgary Olympics Nordic events took place. But our travel director decided to take us up a little road, and we all got it, and we had an opportunity to walk around this beautiful lake, which was a quarry under the mountains, the Canadian Rockies. And it was probably one of the most breathtaking spots I have been in the Rockies. And I've been fortunate to have gone a few times. But it was just magic and remarkable and unexpected. And that's what the hidden gem is about. We don't list them in the brochure. Every travel director has their own list that they like to do. But it is an opportunity for us to highlight something and to show you something that you wouldn't experience or see on your own. And ultimately, we want you to enjoy every moment. Enjoy the trip. Sit back, relax, enjoy your family, your friends, your loved ones, whoever it may be. And maybe you're traveling on your own and making new friends. We want you to have that opportunity to enjoy those moments. We have people that travel with us from all over the world. And it's got, I have to say, some of the greatest experiences for me have been those people that I've met. I was fortunate enough to meet this mom and daughter team, Lindsay and Elaine. And Lindsay's the daughter, Elaine's the mom next to me. And we were on the D-Day 75 trip where we took a coach full of Canadians over to commemorate the D-Day landing. And I met this mom and daughter team from Alberta, and they became the rock stars of the trip. They had such a bond, and the daughter loved to tease her mom and get her laughing because her mom had a very unique laugh. And as soon as Elaine would start laughing, it was infectious. We would all just start to laugh. And to this day, we still write back and forth. We still communicate. It's one of the greatest things of that trip in particular, because it was a coach full of Canadians sharing a passion. And the friendship that formed was just remarkable. And these two ladies are near and dear to my heart to this day. And so it's one of the great things about traveling with a small group like we do is the fact that you do have that opportunity to get up close and to really get to know one another. And we do build time for yourselves. We don't script every moment of every day. You have time to do what you want to do. We had some time to walk around down by the Bow River, and my dad, that's my dad in the green jacket, and his younger brother, they decided that they were going back to their childhood and showing us how they skipped rocks. And by George, they were, and that's my dad's name, they did manage to skip some rocks. So we make sure that our guests have that time to do what they want to do and not have to listen or follow a group every step of the way. It really is a great way to relax and enjoy, especially in a beautiful town like Banff. But during that free time, quite often we will offer trip customization. So these are optional experiences. Maybe you're on the west coast in Vancouver and you've never been whale watching before. It's an opportunity to go out and do some whale watching. There's other optional experiences, and we offer different varieties because not everyone wants to do the same thing. And you can always view the optional experiences on the website before you go. So you'll have an opportunity to see what may be available for you to book. Coming hopefully in 2021, you'll be able to pre-book, but I can't guarantee that yet. That's something that we are working on, and we hope to have it up and running in the very near future. But I do want to highlight some of the trips that we do have available right now. 2021, pretty much all of our world is available now. Australia, New Zealand is available for sale, as well as Europe and Britain for 2021. Africa, Asia is coming shortly, and our USA Canada program is available 2021 to 2022. So we do have a lot of a product available for you. And I do want to highlight tonight some of the trips that we call part of our Near Not Far series, and that's discovering our own backyard. Bill, Danny, and I were talking earlier, and we have a beautiful country, and there's certain places that we may have lived or we haven't really taken advantage of it the way we should have or we would like to, and that's where Trafalgar can take you and offer those experiences. So as I mentioned, we do have 2 new trips in Canada for 2021. Canada's Northern Lights will be an 8-day, 7-night journey. We'll start in Winnipeg. We'll have a couple of nights there. Churchill for 4 nights, back to Winnipeg at the end. This is a wonderful trip, and we do include the charter flight to and from Churchill. So this will be a small group, maximum of 20 people. So we'll meet a dog sledding expert. Northern Lights photographer will be with us to teach you how to take those perfect shots. We'll guide a tour through the Manitoba Museum, dog sledding, so much, and memorable meals such as Dan's Diner for dinner, which is part of that hotel that I mentioned. And as well, polar bears in Manitoba. Yes, bundle up. It will be cold in January, but you will have an opportunity to see these beautiful creatures. And this is the trip where we will stay on the Tundra Buggy Lodge that I mentioned. So a couple of wonderful, unique, new itineraries. But I do want to highlight one of the trips that's most popular from the Eastern Canada and the Atlantic. It's called Spectacular Canadian Rockies. So this is a 9-day journey, starts in Vancouver, ends in Banff, or you can continue on to Calgary. So I'll just take you quickly on some of the highlights of this trip. Our Connect with Locals, the Be My Guest lunch, is visiting a family on the south coast of Vancouver Island, where it's a working farm. It'll be farm to table. Everything is fresh. They're very sustainable in all of their practices. This will be a wonderful opportunity to meet the family and learn about all of their farming skills and enjoy a wonderful meal at the same time. In Victoria, we will visit BUTCHART Gardens, but unique to Trafalgar is our guests will get to have breakfast before we visit the gardens. So we'll actually have breakfast that morning in the gardens, at a restaurant at the gardens, and then we will have an opportunity to be taken through by a specialist to view the beautiful BUTCHART Gardens. On day 4 in Kamloops, we will visit the Shuswap Nation, and we'll have an opportunity to dive into culture with the local specialist and learn a little bit more about the First Nations traditions, have a wonderful meal, and meet a wonderful storyteller. It'll be a great experience and a great way to look into Canada's past through our First Nations people. And on day 5, you guessed it, an iconic site, the highest peak in Canada, Mount Robson. You will have an opportunity to view the UNESCO listed site and take in all of its magnificent glory. If you haven't been to the Canadian Rockies, it is magic. It is truly some of the most incredible scenery in this country. And day 7, I mentioned earlier, the Athabasca Glacier. We'll have an opportunity to visit the Columbia ice fields and learn a little bit more about glaciers and their impact on the environment as well. And maybe on the free day in Jasper, you'll decide to do a float trip. Again, this is an optional experience that you can take down the Athabasca River, which is designated as a Canadian Heritage River as well. So as you mentioned, it is a wonderful opportunity. There are other optional experiences, but this is one that I thought I would highlight for you. Now, once we arrive back in Banff, you do have an opportunity now to extend your journey. We have partnered with MOUNTAINEER, and we have been partners with them for a long time, where you can take the train from Banff to Vancouver from this particular itinerary. So it gives you an opportunity to travel on one of the world's most iconic train trips, without question, the most iconic in Canada, the Rocky MOUNTAINEER. Or maybe you'll head to Calgary and take in the Stampede during Calgary Stampede time. God willing, in 2021, it'll be operating and you'll have an opportunity to take in one of the greatest shows on earth. And maybe before you start that trip in Vancouver, you can hop on an Alaska cruise with Holland America and do a 7-night sailing on the Inside Passage. So it's a great way for you to maximize your time, your trip out west, and to add on to the journey. And this is something that Danny and his wife can do for you at AlmonTravel. Package this all together through Trafalgar for your pleasure and your enjoyment. I do want to mention there are ways for you to save. If you are a very important traveler, a past guest, you can save up to 5% on your trip. If you're booking 2 trips, you can save 2.5% additional. We have deals for young travelers, and we also have deals for our solo travelers. So these are great brochure savings that are available to you, and early payment programs, whereas if you book and pay in full by December 18th, you can also save 10%. So some great ways to save, and it really does add up, especially for our past guests that have traveled with Trafalgar before. So a special bonus this evening is if you are booking a trip with AlmonTravel to travel in 2021 or maybe 2022 with Danny, if you book by the end of September, pay your deposit only, I will be happy to add to your booking an optional experience voucher valued at $50, and that will go toward the payment of your an optional experience that you may choose to book. So at this point, I am going to invite Bill back to say a few words and then pass it back over to Danny.
Good. Well, thank you very much. Fascinating presentation. Interesting. I have, I have told you I lived in and worked in Edmonton for a number of years. We visited in our own car and travels the Rockies often, but it wasn't until I went with an organized tour where somebody else was doing the driving that I really could enjoy it. And hearing you today brought back all those memories. So thank you very much.
Ken, I guess thank you very much for the presentation. I really enjoyed that. I just wanted to bring a personal experience up. My wife and I did northern Italy, including the Cinque Terre, and back a couple of years ago, round trip Milan. And I thought it was a leisure trip because we spent a couple of nights in different places, but I see that it's actually considered to be a country explorer. But I love the idea of spending a couple of nights in different places where you were in no rush to get up and experience what the tour had to offer. And we were able to hook that bus coach tour into Venice river cruise too. We stayed in Milan for a couple of extra days, and it was just an absolutely wonderful experience. That was our first Trafalgar trip, and I have been singing its praises since. I particularly liked your idea of the extended family trip when you were with your dad and his brother. I mean, I think these kinds of trips are excellent for that. You know, it's an opportunity for family members perhaps who have not been able to spend a lot of time together to have a lot of time to spend together. So it's certainly worthwhile for people to consider that. Rocky Mountaineer, I've done that. Bill has done that as well. And to see that hooked into your Western Canada tour and also an Alaska cruise is a wonderful option as well. We've experienced both of those. So I just would like to take a moment to thank you very much, Ken, for the time that you've spent here with us. It's always been a pleasure dealing with you in the past, and I look forward to more of the same. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danny, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening. This session is being recorded, and Danny will be sharing it through the CARP website and through his Facebook. So please spread the word if you enjoyed tonight's presentation. We'd love to have more people view, and we would love to have each and every one of you travel with us one day on a Trafalgar coach. Thank you and good evening.